In the city of Cyprus, in 300 BC, there lived a very wealthy trader called Zeno. While on a voyage from Phoenicia to Piraeus, his boat sank along with all of his cargo. Because of that single event, an event that was entirely out of Zeno's or anyone's control. In an instant, Zeno, once a prosperous man, found himself in the depths of poverty. Now, imagine you were in his shoes. How would you react? Anger? Sadness? Feelings of injustice? These would be natural reactions for most of us, but not for Zeno, the father of Stoicism. This very wealthy man suddenly became poor in an instant. Imagine you were Zeno. How would you react to your entire life's work getting flushed down the drain by the sheer force of nature? What is the proper reaction? Would you be angry? Sad? Would you feel life has cheated you? For most of us, these would all be normal reactions, but not for Zeno, the father of Stoicism. One small change lasts an eternity, and one small reframing of your mindset can cascade into larger and more impactful changes later down the line. The core of Stoicism is the very definition of acceptance and indifference. After reading the works of Socrates and other great philosophers, Zeno created and taught Stoicism. According to Zeno, although we don't have much control over what happens to us, we do have control over how it affects us. And we must use this control to great effect. Rather than crying over spilled food, or in this case, drowned goods, Zeno focused on maintaining his composure over the situation, remaining calm and neutral despite his predicament. When asked, Zeno usually joked and said, "Now that I've suffered a shipwreck, I'm on a good journey." Today, people inadvertently view Stoics as people who cannot be broken. But the original idea behind Stoicism was much more than that. Rather than just a way to describe people who are unemotional, Stoicism was a way to view, describe, and understand the world. It was a way of life, and that way of life has lasted for centuries. It's been more than 2,000 years since Stoicism was born, but this ancient philosophy continues to affect modern lives and direct the paths of people who wish to pursue true happiness. Stoicism aims to find the best way to live by following certain principles designed to enhance rational thinking in every situation. Stoics are known to be masters of themselves, with the ability to manage and control their emotions. However, many struggle with applying their principles to modern lives. You see, the world around us is a sequence of changing and flowing events. Our life is defined by two things: the events that happen around us, and how we respond to those events, and what values, expectations, and beliefs we project onto them. This distinction is important because the events that happen around us are very rarely within our control. However, within our control are our responses, expectations, beliefs, and values. Stoic philosophy gives us a framework with which to examine the things we project onto the world and decide whether they are constructive and can be developed, or destructive and need to be replaced. When this process is repeated over days, months, and years, we change our outlook on our surroundings and we change our lives. The principles of Stoic philosophy are very simple. Live with virtue through wisdom, justice, temperance, and courage, and overcome destructive emotions through self-control, resilience, and logic. The lives we live today are very different to the lives lived by the ancient Greeks and Romans. We have the challenges of navigating tech like social media, busy office lives, global communication, and information overload, while the ancients were more threatened by disease, war, famine, slavery, and other challenges that have lessened over the years as society has developed. However, there is still a large amount of common ground. While the challenges we face may have changed a little over time, the way we process them has not. We still suffer in the same way they did, regardless of whether it is due to a high-level job interview, a difficult divorce, or being exiled from our home by a tyrannical emperor. The Stoics didn't simply develop solutions to specific problems. They created tools to deal with how we respond to problems, the way humanity processes and perceives adversity and hardship. For this reason, the lessons from Stoic philosophers are as relevant today as they were 2,000 years ago. I will share 3 Stoic practices for modern life that will help you to navigate through the complexities of the modern world. Number 1. Journaling. The practice of journaling was promoted by Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. These ancient Stoic philosophers knew that writing and reflecting on one's day was one of the best ways we can process our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, as well as how we react and respond to the events we find ourselves in. In our modern world, journaling still holds its value. All we need is a pen and a notebook, and the time to sit down and reflect on how we feel our day went. Number 2. Meditation. Meditation is promoted across multiple different ideologies and cultures as a way to quieten the mind, improve focus, lessen stress, and generally increase our well-being. The Stoics used meditation as ways to reflect on a number of different things, like how we respond to challenges, whether or not we are virtuous in our actions, deciding what is and what is not within our control, whether or not our problems are really problems, or are we making the problems ourselves. Number 3. Visualization. The Stoics promoted the practice of negative visualization in order to lessen the suffering that can be caused by hardship and suffering. Negative visualization is the practice of putting yourself at some point into the future, perhaps a challenging situation you think you will have to face or a difficult decision you will have to make. While imagining yourself in that situation, you then visualize the worst-case scenario, how you respond to it, and how you would live after it has passed. In many cases, we suffer in anticipation of a bad thing rather than suffering because of the bad thing. Negative visualization helps us lessen this suffering and helps us process the stress that comes with anticipation and anxiety. That's it. Remember, by embracing Stoic principles and practicing them in our daily lives, we can become undefeatable no matter what challenges we face. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time, stay tuned.